and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is very interesting because we're gonna talk about women. And since I'm a woman, I know the red flags. And whether you're a man watching or a woman watching, I think that you're gonna gain a lot of insight if you stick around and watch the full video, because I'm going to be uncovering the types of women you should avoid at all times. So before I get into this video, I actually made the same video about men that you should avoid at all times. So if you're interested in watching this, I will link it down below in the description so you can check it out, because I've been bombarded by comments telling me make the same video about women to avoid, and that is what I'm here to do today. So without further ado, let's get into the types of women you should avoid at all times. So the first type of woman you should avoid is the materialistic woman. Now this is extremely important for men who are looking for a wife. If you're looking for a wife, you want a person that isn't only with you for the money, and that's just facts. Imagine your woman is just with you because your financial situation is great. Really? Well, that's not gonna last, because God forbid you lose all that money. Where will that woman go? She will definitely leave you, because she doesn't love you for who you are. She only loves you for your money. And if you're the type of man that likes to show off about his financial situation, like, trust me, it's all fun and games until you're trying to look for a wife and they're nowhere to be found, because all you're attracting are gold diggers and women who only want to be with you for your money. But here's the thing, whether you're somebody that does that or was thinking about doing it, like, you can always change up, because at the end of the day, it's not about who you attract, it's about who you let in. You can attract gold diggers, but if you don't accept them in your life, then there's no harm. It's just that your chances of attracting a real woman are very slim. That is because a real woman would want to get to know you on a deeper level, wants to see who you are as a person, whether she can see herself with you. And the money doesn't really interest her. She simply thinks that it's a bonus. So yeah, instead of accepting gold diggers and accepting women who are all about materialistic possessions, you need to look for a real woman who loves you for who you are. Because let's say that woman that is with you for the money, she will most probably leave you for somebody else who, let's say, has even more money and who can provide more for her. You want somebody that sticks with you no matter what. Now, the next type of woman you should avoid is the promiscuous woman. You can even call her adulterous woman. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what adulterous mean or promiscuous. It pretty much means a woman who doesn't necessarily mind having multiple sexual relationships. It's a casual thing and it's alright. But here's the thing, yeah? If you're a man who's looking for a real woman and a wife, you want to make sure that that woman cares enough about her temple and honors one of the most important things that God has given her, which is her chastity. So make sure you're not with a promiscuous woman. She's probably going to compare you with other guys. She doesn't value that thing that God blessed. I personally believe in God and I believe in the Bible. God has made that special thing between men and women, for it to be sacred and for it to be special, not for it to be a casual thing. This is where it becomes a sin. And that is why I think it's extremely important to find a woman who cares about her temple, who honors her body and honors the blessings that God has given her. However, there are cases where if a woman has been promiscuous before in her past life, she found God and she decided that's not who she wants to be anymore, and she repented for her sins, then I believe that, God is forgiving and God is merciful. You shouldn't judge a person by their past, especially if they want to be better people. So I think that since God is merciful, God is forgiving, He's gonna make her a new person and it shouldn't matter to you. But of course, I know that some men are extremely careful about a woman's past, and it's totally understandable, because he wants to make sure that woman hasn't been hopping around, that what he has with that woman is truly special and it only happened between them. So yeah, I think regardless, if you find a woman who was promiscuous and is becoming better, I think it's best to pray about God for him to show you whether that woman is for you or not. Now, the next type of woman you should avoid at all times is the narcissistic woman. Now, this type of woman is extremely self-centered and lacks empathy. I even added a narcissistic man when I made my video about all types of men you should avoid at all times, because narcissists are everywhere and you should be careful to not associate yourself with them, because they're literally a walking red flag. They will do anything and everything for their own benefit, even if it means taking advantage of you and hurting you in the process, because for them, they don't care. All they care about is them. Now, here's the thing. Men who don't know that they're dating a narcissistic woman tend to stay stuck with them. They tend to be anxious all the time. They tend to worry. They tend to overthink, because narcissists never give you a clear answer. They never give you clarity and they keep you confused. And that is all part of their game, because for them, this isn't a relationship. For them, this is just a game and they are just playing it. So they don't really have much empathy for you. They don't care. Narcissistic women also tend to blame you for everything, you know, even if they're in the wrong. They will try to find a way to blame you. That is all because they are narcissists. And I honestly advise everybody that is watching this to stay away from narcissists because they will make your life miserable. Now, the next type of woman you should avoid is the one that is a liability. Now, what I mean by liability, it pretty much is a woman who doesn't add anything in your life. This type of woman is extremely shallow and superficial. All she cares about is how good she looks, getting her nails done. She doesn't add any sort of value in your life, whether to help support you in certain areas, whether to give you some sort of wisdom that will help you, some sort of knowledge, somebody that you can work with. Like, there's literally nothing underneath the surface. It's just shallow, it's superficial. And if you decide to be with that type of woman, good luck with making her your wife, because she's not gonna bring anything to the table except her beauty. As a man, it is extremely crucial to be with a woman who is an asset, somebody that brings in value, somebody that supports you in multiple areas of your life, not just like she's just there, you know what I mean? Because that can be replaceable. But her personality, her character, the way she treats others, what she does in your life, these things cannot be replaced. So make sure you are with a woman who brings value in your life. Now, coming up next is the insecure women. This type of woman should be avoided at all times. And the reason for that is because this type of woman is insecure with herself. And the person who isn't secured with themselves creates problems. And this is just fact. An insecure woman will tend to start arguments. She will tend to be envious of the people around you because you're giving them attention. And honestly and truly, she wants the attention so she can validate herself. She also tends to get clingy and doesn't give you the space you need. And of course, I believe in a relationship, two people need to be close together, but there's a difference between being close and giving space to each other and being clingy and not letting the other person breathe and have his own space. Like, I believe this is extremely toxic. This woman is insecure with herself. She doesn't trust herself, and that is why she ends up not trusting you, because she has trust issues and she isn't confident in her own skin. You know, if she sees a pretty girl, she's probably gonna make problems. She's not gonna like it. That is because she's insecure. You know what I mean? So do yourself a favor and avoid these types of women, because you deserve a woman who is confident in her own skin, who loves herself. And I know this might be a journey for some women to be secured with themselves, but I think that that is her own journey and she needs to figure that out, you know, before you two come together. It's very important to make sure that you become the best version of yourself and you're fully healed before you get with a partner and then you ruin their life or you make their life miserable. Now, the next type of woman that should be avoided at all times is the disrespectful woman. Now, this type of woman doesn't even give you the bare minimum, which is respect. And you guys know, the truth is, respect is one of the most important things you can give to a man, because that's what he values the most. And I know for all the men watching this how much you value respect, and that is your right to be with somebody that respects you, because a disrespectful woman has a potential of cheating on you with your mates or whether with somebody else. I mean, think about it. She doesn't respect you, right? She's the type of woman that doesn't mind embarrassing you in front of other people. She does things without taking your view on it because she doesn't care, right? She doesn't respect you enough to ask you. And she does things regardless if you're comfortable with it or not. So if you come across this type of woman, run for your life, because you deserve a real woman who, even if her man is going through a crisis, even if her friends hit her up or other men, even if she wants to do something and her man isn't comfortable with her doing it, she will respect him enough to not do these things. Because a real woman will always take your view into consideration. She is considerate. She wants to make sure that she is giving you the respect you deserve. And that is the type of woman you should be looking for. Now, the next type of woman that should be avoided at all times is the woman who is not submissive. Now, in this day and age, you know, this has become a problem, because in this society, they programmed women to think that they should be dominant too in the relationship, which totally goes against God's teaching. How it genuinely should be is the man should be the head of the woman and the woman should be the man's crown. Now, here's the thing. Women can be absolutely strong. They can have a strong personality. They can voice out their opinions. Like, no one's saying anything about this, but at the same time, they should remember to honor their husbands. In the Bible, it says that the husband should be the head of the wife. Now, does this mean that the husband should rule over her and control her? Absolutely not. This becomes toxic masculinity. And being the head of your partner only applies to real men. You know, I'm not talking about toxic men that want to rule over women. I'm talking about a real man of God who gets his answers from God. And after getting his answers, he leads her because God is going to show him how to treat her. Because honestly, if you're not a man of God and you're not getting your answers from God, you're going to tend to lead your woman astray. You're going to try to lead her, but it's not going to work with you. Because the truth is, the only way to lead your woman is by getting your answers from God. Now, going back to our main point, and the reason why you should only look for submissive women is because that woman will also have her heart hidden in God. And when she has her heart hidden in God, then only you'll be able to find her and lead her. A woman whose heart is not hidden in God and is not submissive, she will not let you lead. As simple as. And for all women watching this, if you're the type that doesn't want to submit, I'm here to tell you that's not what God wants for you. God wants you to submit, but if you feel like you're not able to, that is because he's not the right man. If you found the right man, a real man of God, you will naturally submit to him. So I would say wait for the right man. And for all the men watching this, make both of our lives easier by getting all your answers from God, by submitting to God so that you can know how to lead your wife, and therefore you'll allow your wife to submit to you. Because a lot of times women don't submit to the man because he doesn't know how to lead, and that is the truth. Now, the next type of woman you should avoid at all times is the woman who isn't virtuous. And what does virtuous mean? A virtuous woman is someone who has integrity, who has compassion, who's kind, who's trustworthy and supportive, who wants to support her husband, who wants to uphold her house, and a woman who simply has a lot of morals and values. So this is what it means, a virtuous woman. So imagine the opposite. You don't want that, okay? Especially if you're looking for a wife. Because I'm telling you, a woman who isn't virtuous, she's gonna be disgraceful. She's gonna bring shame into your relationship. She's gonna tend to be careless, you know. She's not gonna care about important things. She's not gonna be able to withhold a family, you know, because she is not virtuous. She doesn't know how to do that, and she isn't that person. And that is why you should only look for a virtuous woman who has wifey qualities. And by the way, to all the men watching this, you know, being happy, like, yeah, you know, that's how it should be. Like, you too, by the way. Just like you should find a woman who has integrity, trustworthiness, and is compassionate, so do you. So don't get it twisted, yeah? I am just saying in general, because even in the Bible, God is warning you men to avoid a woman who is shameful and disgraceful. As it says, I will read it out to you guys. A woman who brings shame and disgrace to her husband and family is compared to rottenness in his bones. That's so bad. So do yourself a favor and never be with a woman who isn't virtuous. Now, next up, the nagging woman. I don't know if you guys saw that coming, but come on now. The reason why you shouldn't be with a nagging woman is because that woman is extremely negative, she's argumentative, and she's constantly complaining. I'm telling you, this woman will make your life miserable, because if you're always complaining, if you're always being negative, she's gonna tend to attract that in your life, and you don't want that, do you? You want peace and comfort. But a nagging woman doesn't bring that. This type of woman will tend to be so ungrateful, you know, no matter what you do, she's not grateful for it. You know, she has something to say, she has something to complain about. She will most likely criticize your actions, and she will just create your home and create your relationship in this bucket of toxicity. So I'm telling you, stay away from that woman, because she's gonna drain your joy and peace. And imagine, even in the Bible, in Proverbs, compares a nagging wife to a constant dripping on a rainy day, emphasizing how unbearable and relentless her complaints can be. So trust me when I tell you, stay away from that woman, because you deserve somebody who has a positive outlook on life, who's grateful, and who doesn't drain you. And the last type of woman you should avoid at all times is the foolish woman. Now, it's pretty obvious. A foolish woman lacks wisdom and tends to make poor choices in her life, which can lead to the downfall of the household. As it even says in the Bible, the wise woman woman builds her house up, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. To all the men, like, you need to be with a woman who is wise, who has wisdom, you know, who's smart enough to make sure that what she's doing is the right thing, you know. She's not foolish, she's not reckless, she doesn't just hop in things, she doesn't just do things like that. No, you want a woman who is genuinely intelligent and has wisdom, you know, so that she doesn't get you in trouble, because these types of women will get you in trouble, I'm telling you. And just like that, just with a snap of a finger, she will tear down that stability that you built. And I'll give you guys examples. A foolish woman, if let's say, you know, she's dealing with finances, you think she's gonna be able to hold that? No, she's gonna tend to mishandle the finances. She might get you in debt, she might cause you to lose money, I don't even know. But because of her lack of wisdom, she might also engage in reckless activities or relationships that bring conflicts into your relationship. So she's not wise about anything or anyone, you know, finances, who she hangs out with, what she does, how she makes her decisions. Like, she's just all over the place, and you don't want that. You want a woman who is wise enough. And yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys genuinely found this video helpful. If you want to see more videos, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my Instagram to stay connected with me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.